Today we'll be painting up this classic metal Dreadnought and adding him to the retro Dark Angels force. I've been wanting to get this guy painted up for a while, and I think he'll make a great addition to the army. He's equipped with a Power Claw and Storm Bolter on one arm and has a Multi-Melta on the other. This should make him a great anti-tank unit. Although this model was originally released as a Blood Angels Furioso Dreadnought, today he'll be joining the ranks of the Dark Angels. And for a model released in 1995, he has held up remarkably well. Back in 2nd edition, this Dreadnought cost 195 points, a sizable investment. 30 years later, I'd say he's earned a fresh coat of paint. To achieve my Dark Angels green without using an airbrush, I start with a flat black primer all over the entire model. It can be from a rattle can or from a brush. I would recommend the rattle can though. For this method, you'll also need a simple makeup sponge. It's an easy way to create smooth transitions across larger armor panels. Starting with black green from Vallejo, I stipple the paint all over the armor before moving on to deep green. Focusing primarily on the upper portions of each panel, this creates a subtle gradient while leaving the recesses dark. With the armor complete, I attach the arms and clean up the mechanical sections with black paint. Before dry brushing them with gunmetal gray and applying a dark wash to bring down the shine. And once he's all dry, this is how he looks. Now it's time to add some color. Starting with the carmine red, I paint the wings in their sarcophagus, the multi-melter casing, and various icons across the model. I then layer vermilion and then finally bloody red to achieve that vibrant, unmistakably 90s Warhammer look. For the skulls, I begin with brown sand before highlighting them with ivory. I also use ivory to paint up the small banners around the model. Then I use a coat of Bony Matter speed paint from the Army Painter on both of them. Moving on to the cables, I use dark blue from Vallejo. It's an amazing bright color that feels right at home on a classic Warhammer miniature. Once dry, I apply strong tone wash before touching up the connection ports and the multi-melta barrels with a little more gunmetal gray. With the Dreadnought itself practically complete, I grab some ivory and lightly dry brush the winged emblem atop the banner pole. A quick coat of Sand Golem speed paint gives it a rich golden hue that really helps it stand out against the rest of the model. I'll then grab my black and use it to paint up the rest of the banner pole. One of my favorite things about these older models is how much room they leave for you to make them your own. Between custom bits, kit bashing, and hand-painted banners, no two Oldhammer armies ever seem to look quite the same, and honestly I think that's part of the charm. Which brings us to my favorite and somehow least favorite part of this project, the banner. Taking inspiration from classic Dark Angels artwork and the original Dreadnought banners of the era, me and my girlfriend spent some time sketching different ideas before settling on a cloaked figure with lightning. Once the banner was fully colored and sealed with a coat of matte varnish, I attached it with a small amount of super glue. It really does help to complete the model. The final step is adding a transfer. Marking him as the 3rd Dreadnought of the 6th Company, I'm going to be applying a number 3 decal using microset. After sealing it with matte varnish, the transfer still looked a little bit too clean compared to the rest of the model. So I applied a heavily thinned coat of Bony Matter speed paint to age it slightly. And with that, the ancient Dreadnought is complete. After thousands of years of service to the Imperium, this venerable machine can now march to war alongside the Sons of the Lion. Now let's add him to the rest of the 6th Company. I'd also like to give a special thanks to Joe Kraft from the 2nd Edition Facebook group. After seeing my homemade scatter dice, he was kind enough to pay for a set of scatter dice and sustained fire dice. And finally, thank you all for helping the channel pass 100 subscribers. The support on these retro Warhammer videos has been awesome, and I'm excited to continue growing both the Dark Angels and the Orc forces along with all of you. If any of you have any suggestions for future videos or hobby advice, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Until next time.